Thank you for joining me once again on the Sutherland Report. It's always a privilege to have your time. What is exciting about doing this is that, of course, you look for guests that you want to bring on to your podcast. What's even more of a privilege is when you ask them to come back and the fact that they're prepared to do so. So, dear Sami Steigmann is going to be coming back to the show, and I'm just going to bring on this film star but incredible man, and we're going to have a good conversation. Sami, an utter delight to see you again, my friend. This is our third conversation, and I'm very honoured to have that with you. How are you? I know there's been a few challenges, but you are a pretty incredible man. So, how are you, my friend?
Well, mentally, I'm very good. Physically, my age, so I'm struggling. It's day by day.
Right, I hear you. I hear you on the side.
Right. But, there is not much to do. I went to the neurologist to try to find out what it is. Basically, there is not much that can be done.
Right. Well, we need to remember. We need to remember you in our prayers, my friend, because you are. I say this. You are, and I wish you many many years because you have two. You have so much work to do. You are living. You are living history, and in saying that, I want to start. I want to start with this because there's been so many changes that have gone in our news cycle since last November, and I'm just going to bring this up because I think this is a wonderful place to start. So, Sami, you have just been. Well, it's out. You make an amazing appearance in this film, Eleanor the Great, and I will put in the description below where where we are able to then
Right.
find the film, and I will then do that. So, Sami, tell me. I do apologize. Let's get this
No
right.
apologies
Let's
necessary.
get this right. Oh, it's the joys of speaking, producing, pressing the buttons all at the same time. Sami, tell us. You've been in this film, Eleanor the Great. I don't want to give the storyline. I think is wonderful, and I'm not going to give the punchline away and just encourage everyone to go and see it. But what was it like being part of
Well,
this experience of
well,
making this
what
film?
what happened is, you heard of Scarlett Johansson.
Yes. Yep.
In 2018, he was the highest paid actor in the world.
Hmm.
And 2 years ago, she started her directorial debut. Okay. And Holocaust is the background. The story itself is basically how people react and deal with trauma. Uh, she wanted to have survivors in the movie, and I was one of six. Unbeknownst to me, unscripted, I was asked to say something, and I
Wow.
became a principal performer.
Hmm.
Initially, I was supposed to be for 2 days, just to be seen, but not to say anything. So, becoming a principal performer, I could be only 1 day because you cannot be a principal performer and an extra in the same movie.
Hmm.
So that elevated me to a point that I'm now eligible to become a member of the Screen Actors Guild. So I call myself a Hollywood movie
Hmm.
actor.
Hmm.
It was in theaters. It's a major film. When it was shown in Cannes in France, Scarlett got a 5 minute standing ovation. Uh, and I call myself SAG E, Screen Actors Guild eligible. Okay, but the initiation fee is $3,000, and since I live under the poverty line, I cannot afford it and does not offer me anything special. But it's not a new career; it's something that happened, and I'm very proud of it. It's a new stage in my life. Uh, the interesting part is when I saw the movie, I did not remember seeing or saying what it says in the movie itself. And I started thinking because they redid the scene several times.
Hmm.
And every time they asked me to say something, to repeat, I didn't remember what I said before, and I kept adding. So they took from each scene, they took something and they put it together. And since they are professional, it sounds like I did it, in one line. Absolutely, absolutely amazing. My friend who recommended me, Dana Arshin, she asked me if I saw Scarlett, and I did not know her. Okay, so I said I'm not sure. So I asked her from the production crew if she is there, and they told me, "What are you talking about? You spoke to her the whole morning." Not know. So it's I'm very proud of it, and I the more I see it, because as I fly, it's also in the aircraft, so you can see it, while you are flying. But I've seen it 4 times, and every time I discover something new. So the last time I realized that you can see my picture 4 times. One time only the back, and at the same time, uh, I'm very proud of it. So a lot of people that have seen the movie know about it, but when I'm on the plane or I'm on the street, nobody knows me. So I'm a celebrity without being known.
Which I have to say to you has its benefits, but I will certainly be checking it out and watching it. And I think, Sammy, it's amazing achievement for you.
Right.
You are on the International Movie Database. I think we need to increase that page and make sure that all the details are on there for you. And it'd be wonderful. It'd be wonderful
Well, well,
if you could then exercise these acting skills again. I think it'd be
uh,
brilliant.
if the main character, uh, June Squibb, if she will get an Oscar, I doubt that I will be invited. But nevertheless, I was at the premiere in
Hmm.
New York. The funny part is that for a year and a half, I did not hear from them. And I did not believe that I will participate in the premiere. 2 days, okay, before the premiere, which I did not know, they asked me if I'm available to come to a screening. And it turned out that it was the New York premiere, and I was there. And the way I was received, I was absolutely, totally amazed.
There's
And
some
if you go on my Facebook, you have to scroll quite a lot, but you
yeah.
will see pictures, okay, that somebody took from me. Oh, this is funny. Uh, I when the paparazzi, when they took the pictures of me with the other characters, other actors, uh, when I before no wait a minute before I no actually no after I took a picture with June Squibb, okay, I gave her a kiss, but that was after, on the cheek, but that was after they took the picture. So as I walk away, okay, the photographers called me back and said, "I want to see that again. Do it again." So okay,
And of course you were obliged, and there was no way you were gonna not do that. But yeah, no, check out the photos. There is some wonderful photos of
right,
there and at the premiere. And these events are important, especially is to celebrate the creative process. But if it's even more important when you're actually celebrating a good film and the premise of it. Because one of the things, and I've read bits, one of the things that I like is the cross generational, is talking to the younger people when they begin to find out the story of someone, and that is I think this is a segue into talking about what has been at the center of your life in regard to your own work. But there's also been some sad controversy which you didn't create at all. So Sami, can you talk about the fact that you were refused, a school refused you to actually go in to talk about the Holocaust and talk about your experience and why that subject, the Holocaust, the Shoah, has to be talked about? Sami, could you explain what happened?
Well, what happened is, I don't know if your audience remembers from my two previous podcasts, but my parents and I were deported by the Romanians, not by the Germans, okay, in an area of the former Soviet Union. But since 1991, that area, okay, is now in Ukraine. So I was there from 1941, 1944. Being only a year and a half, I was subjected to medical experiments, which I felt them, feel them, and will feel them for the rest of my life, every single second. And now, because of my age, I'm 86, I have other issues, especially with my legs, walking, climbing stairs, going on an incline. The interesting part is that for me, the Holocaust is just the background. I am also a motivational speaker. I want to motivate them to be the best they can be knowledgeable how the Holocaust and genocide happened. They had both of them happen the same way, with words and bullying. And when I talk about bullying, you can bully a person or you can bully a group of people. And the most important thing for me is to empower them to become upstanders. Because knowledge without action, from my perspective, means very little. And I give example who they should emulate, and this is the young people's world. They have to learn how to combat Jew hatred and hate in general. The interesting part is the Holocaust must be taught forever and ever, because from my perspective, it's the best example what hate can do, not only to a person, but to a group of people, to a nation, and to the world. The whole world, okay, was involved in trying to annihilate only one group of people, the Jewish people. And we are people like any other group of people. There is no difference. We just have a different culture and different customs. Okay, but otherwise, we want the same thing like everybody else wants, our children to be better than us, to have a happy life, okay, and to give them the best tools to succeed. So there is no difference. We are only 0.02% of the entire world population. And take a look what's happening right now worldwide. And I tell especially young people to listen to both sides. Okay, nobody has monopoly on the whole truth, and to make informed decision. Right now, generally, what's happening not only in the United States but worldwide, people use slogans and wanting to belong. It makes them feel that they are belonging to a group, and many times they have no idea what they're talking about.
Sami, are you when you've just mentioned what you went through, where you were experimented on as a child, and I think we have touched on this before, but the ramifications of those experimentations are what, to some extent, is that what you are dealing now with now physically all these years later?
Yes and no. Because of my
Mm,
age, I'm
mm,
having additional issues.
mm,
Okay. In my particular case, they could not find a cure because it's not localized.
mm,
I don't know where it starts. I don't know how long it will be there, where it will go, how painful it was, is, or will be. And so, therefore, they cannot give me a specific medication to deal with the pain. So, I learned to deal with it. Okay. You will not see it on my face.
mm.
But the one thing that I'm very happy is my parents did not know for 31 years that I'm in such excruciating pain. I was able to hide it from them. But when they came to visit me in 1971 from Israel, okay, to the United States in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where I used to live, after a short walk, when they came into the house, they saw me on the floor, almost unable to move. So my father, in shock, I don't think he ever intended to tell me, mentioned that I was subjected to medical experiments. Until then, even the doctors could not uh, or did not want to believe me because there are, for instance, for the back pain, there is no specific test that can prove it. You have to physically show it how painful it is. And since I did not show it, they did not believe me. But when my father told me that I was subjected to medical experiments, that gave me the courage to ask for compensation from Germany.
Mm.
And even in UK, even here in the States, you will not get a single cent unless you have solid proof. And I had no proof whatsoever. Number one, my father told me that's hearsay. I was homeless. Okay. I had no documents. And when I applied on February 8, 2002, I had no witnesses. Everybody was gone, including my parents. So I did it just to feel good and not expecting an answer. To my surprise, okay, I got an answer 2 days later on January 26, 2004. To my shock, I got paid because the Holocaust is the most recorded crime in human history. And they destroyed a lot of the records, but somehow they found out. And therefore, when I'm saying that I was subjected to medical experiments, I can say it with conviction, okay? And nobody is questioning my sincerity.
Because of those records where they had gone for the systematic industrialization of mass murder, and within Germanic culture, things are it was organized. And yeah, and you're absolutely in what you're saying. They knew where people were. They had those records, and those records were then kept. What you're describing, Sammy, is awful. Where you are on the floor, your father catches you on the floor at that time. Did you then really examine? Do you have any further knowledge of the experiments that were actually done on you, or were you not able to gain that knowledge or make assumptions?
No. And I don't make assumptions.
Mm,
Okay, I know I'm suffering from head, neck,
mm,
shoulders, and back
mm,
now
mm,
with my legs. Uh, but, you know, we all of us identify ourselves by our wealth, the big house, how much money
mm,
we make, our
mm,
profession,
mm,
many,
mm,
many, many ways.
mm.
Uh, for me, I am not what happened to me. It's part of my
Amen.
life.
Mm,
Okay.
mm,
At the same time, uh, my identity is what I do. Okay. And that is my identity and my legacy. The rest of it, it's stages in my life that I had to go through to be where I am today.
mm.
So in my business card, it says, I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to be. And within my means, I choose to be a happy person. The other thing I'm saying, I don't have the best of everything. I make the best of everything I have. So this is I motivate the young people to be the best that they can be.
Hence, as you've just said, your reference to uh, motivational speaking. Did and I don't think there was time, but I want to ask the question. When you were filming Eleanor the Great, did any of this come up in conversation? Did people ask you any questions about what's your background? Why are you here? Did any of those conversations happen, Sami?
Possibly, but my memory is not
I hear
as
you.
good
I
as
hear you.
should be, so I don't remember. The interesting part is that I'm going to participate this year for the second time in something called March of the Living.
Mm,
So before COVID, they had about 18,000 high school students from all over the world. Last year, they had only 9,000.
mm.
Okay. And this year, I will be given the opportunity to give my presentation not only to the delegation from New York, New Jersey, but also to meet with other delegations, which last year we didn't do. Okay, and to tell my story to them. Uh, as I said, it's something that must be taught forever because last year I had something that I used as a teaching tool. Uh, we were the only delegation last year. I don't, with the New York delegation, we will go to Poland and Israel. Last year, all the other delegations went only to Poland. But I had a ingrown toenail.
Mm.
Okay. And knowing my
Painful.
situation, they offered me a wheelchair. And I said no. Because it's difficult to put in words what people had to go through to survive.
Mm.
So, knowing my situation, seeing me struggling and determined to make it, okay, I hope that the young people got a glimpse of what the survivors had to go through. So, it was a painful trip. This year probably will not be as painful, but I'm very proud that I was able to convey in a very small way the difficulties what people had to go through because you cannot put it in words.
When is the March for the Living? Is this? Did you say this is happening in Poland, or where is this event happening?
Well, there is something that the Holocaust is commemorated twice a year.
Yep.
Obviously, January 27, 1945, when the most infamous death camp
Mm,
Auschwitz-Birkenau was
mm,
liberated. And the second one is the Jewish commemoration. And it's called not only the commemoration of Yom HaShoah, but it's also the bravery of the people in the Warsaw Ghetto, that they
mm,
were able to
mm,
resist for 3 weeks against the mighty German
mm.
military. Uh, so in Poland, we observe or we participate in what we call it Yom HaShoah,
Mm.
okay? And in Israel, we will remember, we will participate in the Memorial Day, okay? Because during the Holocaust, Jews died because we did not have a country. In the Memorial Day, we remember the people that died for us to have a country.
Yes.
And we are also the only group of people in the world that we uh, uh, commemorate life. So, right after the Memorial Day, okay, immediately, as soon as it ends, we are going to celebrate the Independence Day. Okay. So I will see all three of them, one in Poland, two of them in Israel, one day after another. And then also for Memorial Day, you have a 2 minute silent that everything, whatever happens in Israel, everything stops.
And Independence Day, May the 14th, 1948. So that's what you will be celebrating then. No,
That is 1948 when Ben Gurion declared, okay, the state of Israel.
Sami, it'd be lovely to be able to join you on that. Maybe we'll have that discussion. But I think that sounds an amazing. No, it's important and it's fantastic that you will be there with many others.
And how was coming delegations from UK, from Australia, from all over the world. And the date that we are going is April 12th to April 26th. So I will be for 2 weeks there.
Got you. How was the day, the 27th of January, as you just listed, liberation? How was that celebrated within the media in America? Because it was a little bit controversial over here. But how was that celebrated and shown as with what had happened all those years ago, even though it's in many of our memories for yourself, because it was yesterday. How was it portrayed in the media in America?
It was portrayed very well. Okay. The interesting part is at the UN, Israel is disproportionately vilified.
Yes.
But very few people know that Israel was able to pass 2 resolutions in the UN. The first one is November 2005, which is known today as the International Holocaust Remembrance Day. The second one, it was a historic moment, and I was invited for a photo op and also to be present there to the historic moment, January 20, 2022. That is when 15 high-ranking Nazi criminals, okay, in 1942, got together, okay, to decide the final solution to the Jewish question, which is known as the Holocaust. They wanted to murder all of the European Jews. Interestingly enough, the second resolution, the 80th anniversary of the Wannsee Conference, the second resolution is against the Holocaust deniers. Like it took quite a while to be recognized, the International Holocaust Remembrance Day, this also will be celebrated and recognized every year, eventually. So obviously, I was there for the photo op and for the passing of the resolution. The interesting part is to have a resolution in the UN passed, normally there is a vote. Even Iran did not dare to ask for a vote. It was approved by consensus. Very, very interesting. And that particular resolution was co-sponsored by Germany.
And we must remember what's happening in Iran at the moment and the suffering of the Persian people there. And at this stage, you know, the figures of the amount of people that have been murdered, we are either 30,000, maybe far more than that, up to 100,000. And when those...
When you say 100,000, where?
In Iran, we don't know.
In Iran, yes, that is correct. And this is part of the problem, that there are no consequences. Okay, and without consequences, things keep escalating. And during the Holocaust, it reached a point of no return. But genocide is happening all over the world. Okay, even today. But Holocaust, from my perspective, some other survivors will disagree with me. I will say will never happen again. Because with the media today, everything is instant. Okay, nobody will be able to say, I don't know, I didn't see, I did not hear. So the wipeout of the entire Jewish population worldwide, it will not happen. All right. Genocide, yes. Okay. But I tell people not to be afraid, to be proud of who they are. And I tell them it will get worse, but eventually it will get better. It's everything that's happening in life is cyclical. And the most important thing is for the young people is to learn from the past and hopefully prevent future tragedies.
Sami, you were refused entry into a school, even though that has been reversed. But what could you talk about that? What happened when you wanted to go and talk about all that we're talking about in regard to the Holocaust, and the school said refused you going in? Have I got my facts right? Could you explain about that? What happened?
Uh, Tell me again, please.
No, don't worry, Sammy. There was a school before Christmas last year.
Oh, yes, you're talking
Yeah.
about what happened in Brooklyn.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay, that is, thank you for reminding me. That is very important, I
Mm.
think. The mother of a child heard me speak and liked what I had to say. And she decided, okay, to be invited at her son's school. The principal said that I'm too pro Israel and that I talk about Palestinians. I'm political. What I do privately is irrelevant. But in schools, I don't go into politics. If somebody will ask me, depending how appropriate it is, the forum, I will answer it, or I will say this is not the forum. And if, like for instance, there was a bank that did not want me to talk about Israel, when they said something and said, please don't say ABC, I agreed with them. Uh, Saying that I served the Israeli Air Force, that's part of my heritage. That's
Mm.
part of who I am. So it's not political. It's
Mm.
something that who I am. So anyway, so there was a very big outcry. The media got involved. As a matter of fact, on Wednesday, a radio host, probably the most popular one in New York, in New York State, he and I will be honored, will be given an award, whatever it is. But he interviewed me. The media was there, CBS, Fox, other areas. And basically, what happened is the superintendent of schools, okay, he decided to reverse the decision. So on February 5th, uh, I was there. I spoke. Obviously, the principal did not come to me. That would have been considered an apology, recognizing that she made a mistake.
Mm.
But I found out where she was. What surprised me is the whole auditorium was completely full. And I went to her, and she didn't say anything. I asked her a question. She said that she didn't say it. I did not go into a debate. I took the high road. I shook her hand, gave her my business card. That's it. But I took the high road, so I don't hold a grudge. I'm happy that I was invited to do it. But that is a victory. But the victory is not mine. I am just the recipient because I got additional presentations that normally I would not get without the publicity. On the other hand, the victory of the Holocaust survivors, because for about 2.5 months, maybe I still am, I was the representative and the face and the voice of the Holocaust survivors and the Jewish people. And I'm saying it is their victory because we, the survivors, will not be denied to speak. And it's a groundbreaking decision because if somebody else will try to do the same thing and to stop somebody from talking, they can use New York as an example how we overcame it.
Sami, it's amazing, as you said, you took the higher ground. You shook this head teacher, as we call it, this principal's hand, and you took the higher ground. I think that's an incredible witness in itself to many young people, and it's excellent that the auditorium was full, and so it should be. And it's good that the press has highlighted this, which I think is very important, and particularly even more so in New York, because you have just had an election for a new mayor that many people were warning about, and to say that this is not a good idea. Now, I don't know if I will ask you the political question because it's between you and I and the audience. So that has now happened. What are do you have any comments you want to make?
Yes,
On,
yes, I do. Yes,
go,
I do.
sir. Go, sir.
Okay. A lot of people are afraid
Mm,
how far it will go.
mm,
But I say one thing: we overcame so many things.
mm.
Okay, everything is cyclical. We had De Blasio, another mayor. Okay, that was socialist and everything else, and we survived. I say we will survive him also, Mamdani. The only thing I'm saying, it will get worse before it gets better. But I was, am, and will die an optimist. I am convinced that the tide will change and it will eventually settle in the middle. Because in the cyclical things, things go from one extreme to another, and eventually they settle in the middle. One thing that I do tell people is that in the Haggadah, this is the story of the Exodus from of the Israelites from Egypt. There is a sentence that says that in every generation they try to annihilate us. Many civilizations disappeared. We prevailed. Into the world, I have a very strong message. We are here to stay, whether you like it or not. The Jewish people live and will live. So it's a testament in how not to be afraid. It's a testament that you should be proud of who you are and continue doing what we are doing. And this is to make it a better world, more compassionate and more loving one. I'll give an example. Uh, I posted, okay, wishing everybody uh, happy Valentine's Day.
Mm.
Somebody that is the son of a Holocaust survivor, he made a comment that we Jews do not commemorate, okay, Valentine's Day. What's the difference? We are part of the larger world. We participate, we celebrate also Christmas and everything else. We don't have to believe in it, okay? But we are part of the world. Why not enjoy and, okay, whatever it's good is happening in the world? And then this is love is in the air. Why not celebrate it? What's the difference? It's not Jewish. It's not Jewish. It's not Christian. It's something that it came into existence, and everybody loves it, so celebrates it. It's giving of yourself, the love, and everything. So people have different opinions. I'm not going to debate them. It's, it's not my role. I'm not going to judge them. But I personally love it.
I hear you. I I hear you very, very, very loudly on that, Sammy. So as we we reflect on that, because in many ways, with what you've just shown by going back into the that auditorium and being able to have a conversation, and then taking the higher ground, you are talking about that. I think in a very that was a very loving act to then do, because you were then stepping into that arena to say, I am here. We're going to have this discussion, which we need to do, especially in the light of this, my opinion, and since the 7th of October and the awful, those awful events that day, and the fact, as you and I have discussed, and the fact that we have seen all these marches that have gone on in New York, gone on in London, gone on in other cities in this country, other cities in America, and in Canada, and very sadly, people not knowing their facts, and in my opinion, a very twisted history. And then that's why you do what you do, which is to then go in and educate. Sammy, I don't know if you know much about the school curriculum. I'm sure you do. There, I do apologize framing it in that way. But is you're going into schools to educate about the Holocaust? How much of that is actually taught to children in their curriculum, in their textbooks?
Yeah.
Because I get the feeling it may not be as much as it should be. Your opinion, Sam?
I was in Germany 3 times.
Right.
I was surprised. Seventh graders, new details. I'll give you just one detail that even adults do not know. Uh, in the Treaty of Versailles, besides returning all the occupied land and not being able to have an army, they also had to pay reparations to all the countries that they fought against. And that caused inflation. Everybody is familiar with individual personal inflation, but very few people pay attention or know about national inflation. And to give an example how detailed they teach it in Germany. In 1917, $1 American was worth 4 German money. At the height of the inflation, 1923, $1 American was worth 1 trillion. You could have a wheelbarrow full of paper money. You could not buy even a newspaper. Nobody wanted it. Okay, the seventh graders in Germany knew about it. Okay, and when things are going bad, people have a tendency to uh, blame circumstances or somebody else or different groups. And that's how it started the whole thing. Okay, and uh, Jew hatred is 4,000 years old. So it's not something new. It's just different circumstances, uh, how it is applied. The interesting thing is in the United States, there are only 24 states that mandate Holocaust curriculum.
Mm.
I have met only 3 teachers that teach it for a full year. From the 3 of them, only one teaches it every single day in detail. She knew the answer. So most of them do it for a couple of days. Okay, in a couple of days, you cannot teach about the Holocaust, about the atrocities, about the stages, how it kept escalating because people did not react in time and appropriately. So doesn't mean anything. Okay, they heard the word Holocaust and that's it. They don't remember anything. At home, they're not talking about it. And a few of them are doing it for a semester. So you say, okay, semester, that's good. But again, do not make any assumptions because when I started asking the teachers for a semester, they do it only once a week. And the Holocaust in campuses every aspect of life. And this is medicine, hate, uh, terrorism. It has prejudice, uh, social work, anything that you can think of, art, literature. So there is so much to talk about it, to discuss about it, to learn about it, and it is not done. And unfortunately, one of my goals today is to. This is a state issue. It is not a city issue. This is for me to speak to the state senators, to be invited to speak to them and tell them that although the Holocaust has been mandated to teach since 1994, there is no standard curriculum. Everybody teaches what they know, what they want. Number two, okay, it's not enforced. So, uh, obviously, me talking to the state senators, the sudden change will not happen. But they have to hear it for somebody that has a voice that is believable. It could be me. I'm fighting for it. But if somebody else is invited, God bless. Okay, I don't need the credit. I just want it to be enforced.
Mm.
And I'm not interested in legislation because legislation is, you know, not always followed. Okay, you cannot legislate how somebody feels. What I'm interested in, if a school does not fulfill the mandate, not to be funded. That's the only way that you can actually enforce it. Uh, will the senators be willing to do that? Okay, it's political. They want the seat, and okay, they're fighting for the seat. I have no idea, but at least it must be taught, must be told, and they have to hear it. And I think I have a pretty good argument, and
Mm. Mm.
that is one of my most recent goals. And this is I want to do it to go and to talk in every state that has not mandated yet. 26 states have not mandated, and at the same time also to make sure that it's enforced.
When are you going to be able to have that discussion with the senators? Do you think, and or
I
how
have
can that
no
be
idea.
facilitated?
I have no
Right.
idea. I have to be invited, okay? And I don't want like they do it for 10 minutes. I mean,
Mm.
2 minutes. They give it to too many people. I want this to be separate. And it's a special issue that they have to give me or somebody else the time to listen why it must be enforced, the mandate. And so far, uh, I have talked to some senators. They said yes, yes, yes. But politicians. Okay, they will tell you yes, but they will not do too much about it. So I don't know. But there is a saying. The audience may find it funny. Okay, if you slept 99 women for making the wrong approach, the 100 will do it. So the same thing, will agree. The same thing here. Okay, so this has to be pushed. Okay, probably refused many, many, many times. Hopefully, eventually, somebody will say, "Okay, let's do it." But I cannot do it by myself. I need help in that. And that is not only here in New York. This is nationwide, and it also has to be in every other country.
Well, dare I say it? Maybe that's something that you could have a chat with Scarlett Johansson's production company. Maybe
I
that's
don't have
something.
I don't have a telephone number.
Well, you may not have a telephone number, but I wonder if, with the production company or whoever
Yeah.
approached you
It's
to get
almost
in the
they will
film,
not give out. It's almost impossible to
right?
reach her.
Yeah,
Okay, she is.
but it.
Yeah, and I don't know if she will go into it. But I found out not long ago that she's Jewish. I did
Mm,
not know that.
mm,
and one of her family members, I think, was murdered or something. I don't know exactly the whole story, but she is Jewish. A lot of people did not know.
Well, let's put our heads together and see who else we could link you up with or talk to. You and I can have that
Uh,
conversation outside here
yeah,
to
but
then.
that would have to be either in Albany here in New York,
Mm,
to the capital, or in the capital of other New York states.
mm. But to think
If I will be invited, to UK or be invited to Australia, anywhere, I'll be willing to talk
mm,
anywhere.
but it's look at connections we have to then be able to have that conversation inside America
Yeah,
from
okay.
the curriculum point of view. That would be
Yeah.
good.
There are many the things, but it's they have not. It has to be good for every age, because,
Mm,
like, for instance, I speak to first graders,
mm,
second graders,
mm,
third graders. I will not talk about the Holocaust.
mm,
Okay, it's too difficult for them to comprehend. They
mm,
did not go through life to understand certain things. So I talk to them about bullying, about
mm,
hate.
mm.
Okay, and then I mentioned the word that there was the darkest period in human history, and I mentioned the Holocaust. But I don't start with the Holocaust like with the
I hear you.
older kids.
Mm,
So you have to adjust. The curriculum has to be adjusted to the a- the age.
mm,
And when I went to school, when I spoke to very young kids, I found out that a lot of bullying is happening today. A lot of it is something we did not have it in my time, probably not in your time, and that is cyberbullying.
mm,
Okay, you don't know who hurts you,
mm,
whatever. So
mm.
things change. I say to the people, the only thing that is okay constant is change.
Well, and you raise a very important issue, which is the concern of technology and what happens on the internet with young people, etc. So there are huge concerns, but it's also the call for parents to be involved and watching what their children are doing. I mean, it comes down to us. Sammy, we need.
For instance, in my particular case,
Mm,
when the principal refused to invite me to speak
mm,
to school, is I'm pro-Israeli. Okay,
mm,
I don't know
mm,
what she was talking about because she never talked to me. She said, "Don't say this, don't say that." I have no idea what she's talking about. But in her school, okay, people, even teachers, go to the kafia. That is
yeah,
not political.
yeah.
Okay, so this. So everything is, you know, uh, you decide what is political and what's not political.
Well, it's we don't want to, we don't want the politics unless it's our politics. We don't want an opinion unless it's our opinion, unless we are putting that
That is
out in the
correct. That's correct.
marketplace.
By the
Mm,
way, I am not trying to change anybody.
mm, mm,
You cannot change anybody. Okay, all I can do is show a different perspective.
mm,
I was at the university, and there was a Palestinian that asked me a question to which there was no context.
mm,
So I
mm.
tried to redirect the conversation in a different way. And no matter what I said, no matter in which direction I went, he always came back with the same question. I realized that I cannot get through to him.
No.
I looked
Mm,
at him, I talked to him, but
mm,
actually I addressed the audience. After a while, I told them, let's agree to disagree. I finished the conversation. And at the end of the presentation, one student came to me. She said, I did not know that.
mm.
And I
Well,
felt I succeeded.
yeah.
Okay. for me, one person changed can make a
Mm,
huge difference.
mm.
In my particular case, a sixth grader changed my life forever. A sixth grader.
Sami, it just shows us, of course, as we know, history, facts, they are important, but it's very, very difficult dealing with people where they're coming from an emotional point of view and they don't want to deal with the facts and they don't want to deal with the history, in my humble opinion. Sami, I just want to thank you for joining me because we're coming up against the hour and I will make sure certain things are in the description. It's always an utter delight to sit down and have a conversation with you. I hope that we could get to be lovely to meet you as well. That may happen. So I just want to thank you for your time today, and I'm going to play us out. I'll put a link to Eleanor the Great, your Facebook pictures, but Sami, thank you so much indeed.
Thank you for the audience to listening. Okay, and each one of us has a job to do to make it a better
Mm.
world, a more compassionate one. And thank you for inviting me for the third time. This is truly amazing, and I
Well,
really
I
respect you a lot for doing what you're doing in educating. Okay, your audience.
Sami, thank you. That means a heck of a lot. I have to say, particularly coming from you as well. So it's a real honor. I'll play us out and I'll say goodbye to you on the other side. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and blessing to you and to everybody else.
Bless you.